Come on. Honorable Akwaba, now, I'm home to say.
Oh, yeah, Obi.
Okay.
I hope so. Yeah.
Oh, Adumia, and the crying kakra, Adumia. In a way, there, yes, two quick issues. Number one, Enra, Yeshen Komobia CFA passport a man for say or apply or monsa and can be. And now no pame say we post be on Facebook say Foreign Affairs Ministry and share na or resolve our issues no. What have you gathered? Problem na yɛdɛn?
Yo, that's Obi. My name chat here for as I said, maybe to just say no, Parliament yeah will recess until it has not been possible to, as it were, use the parliamentary tools, particularly the use of an urgent question. Now, yeah, to me, Anya, the foreign minister or parliament, to respond to your queries. Until within the recess, no, we continue to do our best within the constraints of the recess. Now, engagements are behind the scenes, interactions behind the scenes. Now, it appears to be a supply chain challenge, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the printers, there are some supply chain challenges. Omo apply for the 48-page booklet. No, Omo it's been put on ice. Ministry of Foreign Affairs and are buying Omo to me and process it, the 48-page booklet as at now. A 32-page booklet, no, and on a war system the most say it's not too clear why Omo to me and deliver 48-page one to the general public. Now 32-page no, there is such a huge backlog from what we are picking up, over 100,000 backlog. Petitions media receiving maybe apply November last year, maybe say more apply October last year, maybe December last year, and still almost and it's quite strange because to be objective, to be fair, OSHA reforms are cost at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, particularly the passport office, from the era of the Honorable Hanatete and the Honorable Sheria Yokobuchi. There have been vast improvements until this current challenge. Now, even this phenomenon of Goro boys had been totally eliminated. Who apply, who to minya, who passport, just ordinary application, not even asking for express and a premium service. Who to minya within a week and 2 weeks maximum. And the cost of this year in particular is very strange. It's one of the issues when we return from recess, your committee ever probe further and deeper. But for now, it is important to urge the government to resolve challenges now, because Ghana for Dudona complaint is becoming a major concern. A lot of the traveling public have become very, very frustrated because our passports are expire. You have really no option, and the embassies will only grant you your visas when they see your passport and in your passport. It's a very frustrating development. OSHA, the avalanche of complaints and petitions. I'm sure it be cry Ephraim.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I hope that the foreign minister will expedite action. I said last month, or more issues statement that I said they are facing some challenges. Or more apply for 48-page booklet now. Or more experts said they can only get the 32-page booklet and they will get refunds. And no crano petitions BBI received, almost say those refunds have not come, and then 32-page booklet, no, they are not receiving it. There's clearly a major challenge somewhere, and as I said, the authorities should rise up to the occasion now, almost solve it. And then communication with the general public, at least, the course. Let the general public who want to acquire this passport know that these are the challenges you are facing. This is what you are doing to resolve it. So, say, who apply, who receive it in 3 months' time and 4 months' time. And then what are even the tracking mechanisms? Maybe a website be mobile to me, I track it. In this era, Moka said there's a lot of digitalization going on. These are some of the things that become the measuring rod, the yardstick. You bet to me, government services are becoming readily available and government agencies are being more responsive. I would just appeal to the ministry, sir. Silence shouldn't be an option. There should be communication, and the bottlenecks, the cause these challenges, among Bomodiana, among resolve it in Tamara, because look, sometimes it can be an emergency. It be a medical condition, and as a graduation ceremony, and these are once in a lifetime events. So families, loved ones, and to me and Kwa, people become quite unforgiving. And there can be serious, issues that demand urgent travels. Maybe some business deal be, your traders, your entrepreneurs, and they lose out on the opportunity because investors will not keep waiting for you alone. It's a very competitive world. I hope the foreign ministry will act swiftly to resolve these bottlenecks.
So and Mr. say radio be ben wa man nko from Emma your way your passport booklets where do we print them from?
I'm not allowed to put out all this. Okay.
No, but at least outside Ghana, right?
That it's a Ghanaian company.
Oh, okay.
You build the capacity.
Okay.
And I have back press. I think we should celebrate our own.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, of course.
So main fact details and to in terms of the amount of money, the value of the contract, and all of that. But at least, as I say, about Omobaso, I think since it's been almost 2 decades, they've built capacity.
Oh, okay.
They've built capacity. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Then of course, I mean, I was at Foreign Affairs Ministry about what's really the problem, because discussions. What I found interesting was the interest from Ghanaians in the diaspora. It was crazy. I mean, the complaint was all over, and I would want to believe, say, even for them abroad, so who apply for passport at your embassy, you be free Ghana, how they call, right?
Yes, there's some of the destinations now. You have free Ghana, and there are other options where it is printed. Depending on the jurisdiction, it's printed out there. It depends on the diplomatic mission. And yet diplomatic missions, and to me, to some of them rely on other missions to deliver. For example, or more Europe. I think you have a few issuing centers to say the UK, Germany, and say and Spain. And yet all the European countries and a omotomy issue. But if from the source, they're having these challenges, they affect your money.
That's true. That's true. Wow. We would see. I mean, we would see. Foreign Affairs Ministry and anyone wedding Komoa, just to give, especially Ghana for a woman, and some glimmer of hope because Brina extremely frustrated. But I don't know aside. This weekend, so one big story was the Supreme Court decision by on more application for interlocutory injunction. No, was it what you expected?
Edikan, I say within the clear constraints, may a plaintiff in the matter, and say three of us leading the charge on behalf of the minority caucus. Your leader, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Honorable Mahama Yarika, and my humble self, I will be restrained. Just to say tersely, certainly, you have confidence in your case. In Tiana, what they call Anka, would you say one case? I mean, nobody goes to court to waste the time of the court. I mean, we have absolute confidence in our case. And injunction application now, you're filing, we saw that despite the fact that the substantive case was pending, the authorities were going ahead. Omoka said, first May implementation, cost. We thought it wise to give instructions, to issue instructions to our lawyers, say, or more, file this injunction application to restrain the government, their agents, their assigns, their privies from going ahead. Now, so as you now know, unfortunately, Jan succeeded, but it was not a total loss because all kind ruling Supreme Court because the substantive case is pending. The GRA is ordered to keep proper records so that in the event you win your case and there has to be a refund, Ghanaians will take their money back. And it's a major development. It's significant. Anka Yanko Court, Anka Yan file that application for injunction. We will not get this order. The GRA will not have been ordered to keep these records and to make sure, if we win, because Supreme Court say buying a win, if the state wins, they cannot recover or more injunctive or more. Those who were not paying the levy, buying and to me and free or more. Now, so say omoma buying coins or moncoso and levy na say yanye winner is the plaintiff's winner. Buying that to me, I refund it. Even though all kind 2019 Auditor General report, you see the record of this government and this finance minister when it comes to tax refunds. It's a very abysmal record. There are all kinds of massive diversions according to the Auditor General's report. But we will want to have confidence in this order. So because of this order, buying very careful, GRA for very careful. The Ministry of Finance will be very careful so that then Ghanaians can get their monies back. And the end of the crime is we share the Rose Minister, Bekacha in our Parliament, say, collateralize the E-levy. With this order, there's no way they can collateralize it. There are no financial institutions that will entertain any discussions with government to collateralize the e-levy and, as it were, front load. Until at least it is a significant development. To me, anya injunction and the hardship we wanted to prevent, the way we wanted to save Ghanaians, so that all this payment of this unconstitutional, repugnant, and punitive level, succeeded there for now. But we have hope in our case. We are very clear that Article 1041 has been totally violated. I mean, violently, with impunity. Into by the time the outcome of this case will be determined. I know that these days, many people keep calling us, say, "Oh, now more than was Supreme Court. Unanimous, move and lose it." But I mean, you must not give up. In a democracy, once you know that right is on your side, you should be resolved to soldier on, to fight on, no matter the perceptions, no matter the hostilities and other circumstances. What matters is you are on the course of right. You are pursuing justice. Then do your best and leave it to the conscience of institutions and those who seek to get in your way. And we remain committed to the substantive case.
Now so far, Mati will be from the court registrar on data or my fix for substantive case now.
There be, and one of the concerns was seriously, many are OB, and I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to the Chief Justice. Expedited action, because you see, the more it's a very complex levy. The more GRA, and you see, we are talking about an unconstitutionality. There should be a lot of look. If it's about the Constitution, everything else must wait. Mm-hmm. We must not. We shouldn't even be happy to live an extra day, an extra week, an extra month when there is a constitutional breach. No country does that. That is so fundamental. And in addition to that, the number of people, millions, who this levy, will to put it clearly, will affect now, and how refunding will become very complicated now. You don't want to further, create a lot of challenges and complexities. And I hope, sir, we will get a date and an expedited, adjudication of this matter, because it's really, really imperative. We cannot continue to wait in perpetuity, because the unconstitutionality we are complaining about, every hour, every minute, every second, the unconstitutional collections are going on, and we can't live with an unconstitutionality. We cannot. And the attendant hardship, how it is impoverishing Ghanaians, every second, and we cannot continue like that.
But sir, Osha ruling in this interlocutory application, and the court held, say, at least they would want to err on the side of the presumption of regularity. Say, once a parliament go through process Ashemrano, they would want to assume, say, everything was regular. Rebuttable, though, it is more as plaintiffs, multimedia the evidence, but to rebut that presumption, fine. But say, even the initial evidence near there, more they echo before the court, even for this particular application, you couldn't successfully rebut that presumption, no? Don't you think, say, signs of what is to come in the case itself proper?
Again, that is another misconception and propaganda out there. Not Mr. Court Hall, the judges, no, the Kaya. Omuka Pefe said the lawyers should not stray into the substantive matter.
Okay.
They should just focus on the injunction. Adentina or Mungrante.
Injunction.
Injunction application. Yes. There was no, anytime the lawyers tried to stray, they stopped them. The judges stopped them and said, hey, don't go into the matter. In summer, I'm seeing all kinds of write-ups, all kinds of things on social media. Say, or more for evidence and court. And you see, what hasn't helped matters is the misconduct of the Attorney General. And we must be sincere and truthful in these matters. We must be forthright. The Attorney General, as leader of the bar, after this matter, the injunction application, when him say the substantive case is pending.
Yes.
The election petition, and we saw how the Supreme Court judges, lashed out at lawyers. Say, case Koswa, you don't comment. Do the attention, especially when you are the lawyer on record representing a party. Ubekaya, 1st February 2021, lawyer from Davis was reprimanded by the Chief Justice and the panel. Say, you have gone on record as a lawyer representing a party in the matter, until you don't go out there commenting on the case when it is pending. And he was reprimanded in open court, live television. If you bet to me, I Google, if you Google Supreme Court reprimands from Davis, it will pop up. And there were other lawyers, Ubekaya, Yaopoku, the Honorable Marietta, former Attorney General, the Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayeni, Deputy Attorney General. On other occasions, the judges were paid to draw their attention to the rules of court, Rule 38. If you read that story, say, once you are a lawyer in the matter, you don't comment. And then you hear this Attorney General call a press conference, and he say, me need the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the Honorable Mahama Yarika, evidence be the propaganda and the court. I mean, Jesus Christ, such contemptuous conduct. I mean, the Attorney General, who knows that this matter is pending? We are yet to go into the substantive matter. You go and call pressmen to your office and tell them, say, the propaganda and the court. I mean, in any case, our case is very clear. Everything that we are talking about happened in the glare of the public. And the records of Parliament are clear. That kind of votes and proceedings of 31st March is clear. That the entire NDC caucus walked out. It's clear. It's not propaganda that we walked out. It's not propaganda, say, those who purported to be passing this E-level were 136 at best. Kojo Kum, Chief 30 Minutes at Wamba Parliament, he was not present and voting, as Article 1041 demands. The Honorable Adjasafo was nowhere near the jurisdiction. Wamba Parliament, she was not in the chamber, present and voting. So, at best, 136. You are nowhere near the threshold of 138, as the Supreme Court decided clearly in the Abdullahi case on the 9th of March 2022 in that judgment. And how do you call these things propaganda? I mean, and look, Obiti said the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Ujin said Haruna Idrisu, a whole minority leader, a 5th-term member of Parliament, a former Minister of Trade and Industry, a former Minister of Communications, a former Minister of Employment and Labor Relations, far the senior to Godfrey Dame, the Honorable Mahama Yariga, former Minister of Employment, of Science and Technology, the Harvard-trained lawyer, far senior to Godfrey Dame. You are saying that these people, 4th-term member of Parliament, will just walk to court with propaganda. I mean, the condescending tone, the utter disrespect. We want to caution the Attorney General. Say, look, we take our work serious. In Kofu Aye represented in Parliament, the chiefs and people of our various constituencies are people we have a lot of regard for. And we are working on a clear mandate of the Ghanaian people, the people we represent. And if he wants to go about with his unethical conduct, breaching the rules and pontificating on matters that are pending in clear contempt, and he thinks you get away with it, nothing will happen to him. He is untouchable. He is above the law and above the Supreme Court. No. He should know his limits. He shouldn't bring it to Parliament.
But Sammy, don't you think, sir, you are also not being fair to him? Because as we speak, he's probably, because we're a party to the suit, he's seen your rate or homo statement of case, and also, I don't know, so when you're filing the statement of defense, and at least he is privy to everything you've presented before the court. I'm also in the defense court. And based on that, don't you think so? Bet me, I can say, evidence, and you're watertight as you think it is.
Is it a judge? And is that the forum to make that case, to make out his case? On court, when we start the substantive matter, he should raise these matters and tell the judges. You see, the rules are clear. The rules are clear. Other lawyers, look, there are some lawyers on our side in Parliament who are appearing before all kinds of panels, the General Legal Commission, all of that, for matters like this, things that the court consider contempt. The Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayeni, the Honorable Roxinda Fiamepo, they didn't say anything near a quarter of what Godfrey Dame is saying and engaged in. I mean, and if other lawyers have been reprimanded in open court, live television, as recent as just last year, and then you, the leader of the bar, who should know better, you're engaging in such conduct. Into the audience, I don't know if it's deliberate because young lawyers are not speaking. They are playing by the rules. And then, I mean, in summer
Eduji has also spoken to the media.
In summer or Kafa, I mean, your lawyer say he's an embarrassing spectacle. I mean, to describe your colleague in such language. Hey, I mean, power is transient. Attorney General, there have been many before him, and he won't take this position home. It's not a family property. He won't be Attorney General and die on the job. He should just come down to earth a bit. He should try and come down to our level as mere mortals. This level of arrogance, this pomposity, and I mean the total disrespect for colleagues. I mean, who made him the judge of other lawyers, to be policing other lawyers, to be marking other lawyers? Who made him chief examiner over other lawyers?
No, but you just said, sir, or a leader of the bar, and at least, or some level of influence, some level of gravitas, be to at least say, oh, my learned colleague, Adia or they say, Anka Eye and all of that. He can proffer those professional advice. You don't think so?
He cannot. I mean, in these terms, these are outright insults, Minia. And my so let's not be diplomatic when there is no, call for diplomacy. Even the UN Secretary General, Minia, would not try to engage in such diplomatic, gymnastics over what has happened. The Attorney General now, is condemnable. You don't do that to call your colleague on the other side an embarrassing spectacle. I mean, how dare you? Who are you? Who are you, leader of the bar or what?
Sammy,
you are the chief examiner.
Calm down.
It is wrong.
Calm down.
It's wrong.
Okay.
You don't do that.
I'll come back to you when need be. Yeah, that's the power, Sammy.
No problem.
Medase.